Hey everybody, here we are for R.A.N.T episode 10. Can you believe it? 10 episodes already. Today's episode, we're going to be comparing two of the most popular brands of energy gels. We have Maurten, we have GU. I used 5 measures to determine which I think had the slight edge, and we'll see how both hold up. So what are energy gels? What do they do? So energy gels replace your carbohydrates when you're running. Basically, the faster you go, carbohydrates become your primary fuel source. There's also often caffeine, and what the caffeine does is open up your blood vessels. That way you're able to continue to push through, especially in those longer distances. All right, so I bought myself a box of Maurten energy gels. These are the caffeinated version, and they just came in the mail today. So this is actually my first time using the product. The first time I had ever heard of it was during the Boston Marathon in 2019. I saw someone use one and they threw the empty packet on the side of the road, and it was a very unique type of packaging and it made me curious. So I figured I'd give it a try, see what it's like. From what I understand, a lot of the world's most renowned marathoners are using this right now, and also other endurance athletes. All right, so I'm at my favorite running shoe store, Roadrunner. You got your GU selection, and I'm actually going to compare Maurten energy gels to GU. Actually, I feel like they're pretty comparable. Alright, so as you can see, the caffeine content here in a Maurten is much greater than that of the highest GU. The highest GU is the R.A.N.T, and you're probably going to max out at about 40 milligrams of caffeine. As you can see here with the Espresso Love, you also have 35. We're talking 100 with the Maurten here. However, one thing that certainly works in GU's favor is look at all these flavors. It just seems like there's an endless supply. You got colorful packets. For Maurten, you have 2. You have the caffeinated and the non-caffeinated version, simply a white and black packet. Alright, so I got my plate, I got my Chinese chopstick, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze the texture of the Maurten, and this is a GU R.A.N.T Jet Blackberry with 40 milligrams of caffeine. Alright, so here we go. It's coming out very slowly. I don't want to squeeze too hard and have it go everywhere. There we go. Look at that. So that almost looks like a gelatin. Yeah, that's what I would compare that to, like a Jello. Huh. And as for the GU, it's coming out. This is definitely more like a honey. They're not the same at all. As you can see, the chopstick is picking up the material, whereas on this one, it just kind of bounces off. All right, so here comes the fun part. I'm gonna take this. Yeah, that's definitely like a gelatin. I'm trying to analyze the flavor as well. There really isn't much of one, but it tastes very kind of, I don't know, unnatural, I guess. So yeah, if we're going by the flavor test, I think GU definitely has the edge. I'm not particularly enjoying this. And just for the purpose of comparison, I'm gonna have a little bit of the GU. I mean, I already know what these taste like. These aren't bad. I can do these all day. All right, so we compared the textures, we compared the flavors. Another measure I'm gonna use is performance. And no, this is not an attempt to brag about what workout I'm doing today. We're just simply using the numbers as a measure to see if using a Maurten affected my performance. All right, so I gave myself about an hour, really caffeinated from the Maurten gel. Anyways, I'm gonna do a workout I did 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna do repeat 2 miles, 3, maybe 4 if I'm feeling really good. And anyways, this is gonna be the performance measure. This is not an attempt to brag about my workout. We're trying to see if the energy gel actually makes me faster. Last time I did this workout, I averaged about 9 minutes and 48 seconds for each of the 2 miles. I'm giving myself 400 meters rest, so let's check it out. I do want to point out that there might be one flaw with this measure, and that is the fact that I've been training consistently throughout. I've been doing workouts. I could just potentially be getting faster by that alone, but we're gonna see if the energy gel makes a difference anyways. All right, so one area where I gotta give the advantage to Maurten is in the staying power area. And what I mean by that is, while I'm out here doing my warm-up, I seem to be locked in at a consistent 6 minutes, 37 seconds a mile. So that type of consistency where I'm seeing the same split over and over, that would probably do you really well in a half marathon or a marathon distance. All right, so I won't be able to take you with me while I'm actually running the 2 miles, but I'll try to check in after each one is completed, and maybe I'll do some strides with you. All right, so I'm gonna go into it. Wish me luck, I'll check in a little bit. All right, so I'm really not sure how this is gonna look. I just know if I was wearing the vest on each interval, there would be way too much bounce and it just wouldn't look good. All right, so that was number 1. 9:46, first mile, going through at 4:53, so very consistent. Let's see how the remaining 2 go. Whew. Holy crap, you guys. So that was the second one, 9:39, first mile, 4:50. So that was a slightly negative split, 4:49 second mile. I'm feeling okay, but man, dry heaved a little bit after that. I'm in uncharted territory here. And there we go, the third and final one. 9:43, that's about 4:50 at the mile, so I slowed down a bit. I know this is absolutely disgusting, but only for the second time in my life have I vomited. All right, so we know for the performance test, that absolutely worked. This is the fastest I've ever done a 3x2 mile workout. So that was pretty sick, and I don't mean as in the vomit, but sick times. Feeling really good. Whew. Oh man, you guys, that was hard. But I'm gonna cool down, stretch, and we'll go over one last measure. So for that last measure, we'll just call it the GI. Beforehand, going to the bathroom, pretty normal. You take it about an hour before, just like a GU. Post-workout, vomiting, that's not something that happens to me ever. So in that regard, I'm going to give the Maurten a knock. So here were my findings. I gave a slight edge to GU, mainly because there's variety, there's some familiarity there. My body's kind of gotten used to these over the years. But if we're going in terms of performance, the Maurten did very well. I would like to use these a little more. I would have some concerns if I were racing with them, mainly because I don't have much experience. I was a little concerned with how my stomach managed it. So I'd really like to use this a few more times before I go out and use it in a race. Thank you very much for watching. That was episode 10. Catch you next time. Please like and subscribe.